Marvel's Eternals.
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 I was trying to think of how to.
No, you couldn't. Yeah, I
Yes.
watched you. The cogs are turning, but
Maternals.
Maternals. They're all just mothers.
All right. Well, let's
It
talk
is a
about
family
Marvel's
movie.
The Eternals. It's about this group of super beings created by these godlike creatures called Celestials, who from Guardians of the Galaxy created the universe pretty much. Infinity Stones, all that jazz. So they came to Earth at one point to help humanity survive and destroy these weird things called deviants. These monsters also created weird thing. And they're like, you know what? Earth is pretty great. Let's stay here and be eternal here. But
Until
then
we can go home.
Yeah, until they can go home. Then, out of nowhere, present day, deviants start popping back up, and you're like, that can't be good. So it's up to the Eternals to save the day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's us not getting into spoilers.
Yes.
Yep.
So I thought the easiest way we could work around it is just talk about some things that we liked about it without getting into spoilers. Talk about the characters, give our rating, jump into spoils. Cool?
Spoils.
Spoils.
Yes.
So I thought something that this movie did really well was it brought the concept of like immortality to an interesting point. Like all these characters inspired Greek and like other type of heroes like Icarus, Mercury, and
Almost
other types.
all of them.
Almost all of them are literally just Greek, but it's interesting to see how they did that and how their perspectives are different than just a guy going like, yeah, I've lived 500 years. It's just like, man, it sucks seeing everyone die all the time and you can't stop that. And you're just like,
Yeah.
that's sad, you know?
I wouldn't care if I were them.
Yeah.
They seem like they're just being dramatic about it. I think after 7,000 years or however long they've been there, I think I'd get over it.
Would you be like a cool guy? Would you
I'd
like
be a cool guy.
immortal?
I'd be like, oh my god, I've been around.
Hey,
so
this is
long, you have
fire,
No idea,
idiots.
Yeah, hey, idiots.
Laser fingers.
And then it would.
And then I'm their god now.
Yeah, You know what though? Why didn't one of them try? You know, I mean, I don't know if that's a spoiler to spoil that none of them tried. To
Yeah. Well, because
rule the
you see
world
their
with
boss like
powers.
Arshan.
Well, I mean, they could very
They easily could just be
Specifically
like, I take over
Druig.
the world.
Yeah, Drew could
Yeah.
easily
I mean,
do
it's
that.
talking
His
about their
powers are
power
cool.
spoiler.
No.
No.
they-
Oh,
they
okay.
just
talk
talk
So
about their
Druig has
powers.
the power to mind control anyone, and like he doesn't even need to be like looking at them. He even said like once in the film that he can mind control the world and like
Yeah.
make it peaceful, kind of like Unity from Rick and Morty.
Mm-hmm.
But
Should have done it.
Yeah.
should have done it. He didn't, and he very easily could have. He instead just chose a small group of people to mind
To, like,
control.
Just
And
make like a nice civilization.
make
It
a
wasn't even
nice-
mind control. It
yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
don't kill each other.
Karen, there's a good detail with that. Karen brought up the point after the movie. She was like, they were in the Amazon, which is in South America, Brazil. They should have been speaking Portuguese, but they were speaking Spanish.
Mhm.
And I brought up the point that he took those people from Tenochtitlan, where they would have spoken Spanish. So I thought that was cool that they preserved their language through.
Just
through
shows how
that.
little contact they've had with like anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over time.
Also shows how
And
much
it's
most
been, like,
people.
over time
Yeah.
too. That's been like 5,000 years.
Also shows how most people just wouldn't pick that up because they're like, no, yeah, you speak Spanish in
It
Brazil.
makes
Yeah, they
sense,
speak
probably.
Spanish.
Spanish in
You know,
Brazil?
South America, that's a little bit more south of Mexico, so they probably
You
speak
could.
Spanish.
Probably.
But it was super
Makes
interesting.
sense to me.
Yeah.
Glad we
Um,
worked that one out.
I thought they had a good balance with all their powers. Like,
Yeah.
it
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
like, this is the guy who's as strong as a mountain and also is bulletproof. It's just like all of them had like,
It
you
made
could see
sense.
all of them like could take down
Yeah.
the other in a fight.
Yeah, and it was very pronounced that Icarus was like the strongest, but it was
Yeah.
also like he was getting
take him
beat
down.
up.
It's like
Yeah,
a
it wasn't
margin,
like he was
like
like Superman versus Batman, where Superman's like
Yeah.
a
here
lot of
and
DC references in this movie too.
yeah,
oh, that was the other
was
thing.
weird.
Yeah,
It
they
was
really
at least 2.
it was interesting.
I was like, have they done that before?
Yeah, like to an extent, like why would I wear a red cape and fly around? Superman. But like in this one, they're like, isn't Superman
But-
cool, huh?
In like
Like-
Shazam and stuff, they don't give a shit. They're just like Marvel all the time. We like talking about Marvel.
Yeah.
So I think after Marvel like saw that DC's like we don't give a shit. They're like okay,
All right. Well,
guess
now-
we'll
I mean,
participate.
is it like a bad thing? I think it's like
I
more
think
of like
it's
a
fun.
respect. Like,
Yeah,
it is
hey,
fun.
our things exist in your universe,
And
your things exist in ours.
Like
that's-
it's fun. It's
yeah,
giving
It is.
back.
I agree. Thought it was interesting. Though.
Yeah. Let's
definitely.
talk
I
about-
wouldn't have done it.
Oh my God.
I would never have done it.
Just let's fire around through some of these characters real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Icarus, ability to shoot lasers out of his eyes and can fly.
And
Kind of cheap
pretty
that he got
strong.
2.
He's pretty
Yeah.
strong.
Kind of cheap that he got 3 powers while everyone else got like 2 or
Yeah, that's
1.
not
But
fair.
Yeah.
a really good character. Liked him. had a strong presence and everything like that.
Yep.
We can't get too much into it before going.
Yeah,
into
we don't want to talk
spoilers,
about these characters too much.
Cersei, the main character of this film, very
Agreed.
very great.
Probably the lamest.
Really?
Well, actually, I would say
I thought
second lamest power.
I thought she was.
Really?
I think her power is really cool, but the fact that
was
she
cool.
can't use it on people, like, I feel like,
Yeah,
In
that'd be a
this
little
film-
overpowered though. She could just go, "Hey, buddy."
yeah, that's true.
And then you turn to stone. Like that's
But for me, like, I think she could have used her powers in like a cooler way, like, making spikes from the ground. But she just, the only time I saw her use it like offensively was to just make the ground like so that someone sunk into it,
like
Yeah.
sand.
like sand.
Like
Yeah,
sand.
But I mean, like, it's still interesting.
She could like make like lava. and
Yeah.
shit. Why didn't she do
Yeah.
that
She's-
ever?
and then
What is
they-
wrong with her?
Why not
Yeah.
just
Her
always do
powers are
lava?
so cool. She could have like gone up to like I don't know a
Thor.
mountain and been like, you know what, lava,
Lava.
And
and
just
just
a lava
destroyed the
mountain.
world. And like it doesn't seem like it really costs her that much like energy
To do it.
either.
It's just
Yeah.
kind of
because
like
she caught a
I could
bus and turned it into flowers.
yeah,
Like,
she's like boop.
Yeah, and then when they interviewed her, because there was this dude with a camera like
Mhm.
going around interviewing everyone, she was like, "One time I turned something into water. It was really cool." And I'm like, "You could turn anything into anything. Why is water
Yeah.
the one thing you
The thing I don't get is like,
hone in on?"
and I think that my main problem with this movie, because I really liked it,
Mm.
but my main like gripe is that like none of them changed until this movie. They've been on Earth for 7,000 years, and then suddenly this movie happens, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, now I can become an interesting character."
yeah,
Like you would think by that point, Cersei would be like, "Oh, I can do this," boom, and like do like something crazy because they've just been living on their own for thousands of years. Like, I don't know, man. It's a little sus.
Next up, we have Ajax, the leader.
Is Ajax supposed to be Ajax?
Maybe, but I mean, it's
think so.
Ajax.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you get the references.
Her
She-
power is healing and also talking to the Celestials.
and also talking to
Also
the
talking
face of
to
God.
Yeah.
Man, okay, let
and
me
also
tell you something.
keeping secrets.
Let me tell you something. Arishem, that celestial, Jesus,
Terrifying.
that
Oh,
was just,
yeah.
and that's not even like a known, like, oh, cool, Galactus. That's just a guy that
That's just
exists.
a
in
dude.
That's just a dude. That's not even like a big bad.
They're
it's
so
just,
scary.
I'll kill everything,
I
maybe.
feel like their size was really inconsistent, though.
That's
I'm
true.
gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking because
No,
It-
no.
yeah,
it's
no,
hard
okay.
to-
We'll,
hard
we'll,
to-
we'll talk more about it in spoilers because there was one point where I was
I'm
like,
just like-
they're not that big.
Yeah,
It's like when they compare it to different objects is when it started to fall apart.
like
Yeah.
he's
Because
holding
they
a
did a
galaxy
lot of
in
like,
his hand.
here's them next to an Eternal, and then they would do it like you said, like here's a video of them creating the galaxies, and I'm like,
Why are they
no.
the same size?
Why
And
is the
Eternal's not
human
that
the
size.
same size as a galaxy, brother?
Yeah. Kingo, a fan favorite for sure in this film, by Commander Gianni. It was great,
He was really funny.
really funny.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was interesting because, like I mentioned earlier, he had a different perspective than you would assume. Oh, he's a funny character, so he's just gonna go with everything. But he brought up like really interesting points for being like
Yeah.
an immortal being. He's not like, all right, let's save the day. He's like, this could kill even more people if we do it. And they're like, you're supposed to
Yeah.
be funny. What is this?
Hey, what do you
Yeah.
have in thoughts?
What is this?
right
A
now? You're
complete
not
character?
allowed.
No.
No.
I'm a Marvel movie. You're the funny one. You're just the funny one.
Just stuff it.
I think that's what people didn't like about this film is that it was different in the sense where it was not like there's humor in this film like there is in every movie, but it's
Yeah.
not like this is the funny scene. It's just like, okay, this is like a character who uses jokes, but it's not like this is a funny
I agree
scene.
with you
Yeah.
in terms of like the humor, but
Yeah.
overall, I don't
It was
think
like-
that this movie
it's
was
a
much
still- yeah.
different than a Marvel movie.
I don't understand
I
why
don't
people
get-
were mad.
Everyone's like, you gotta go into this movie not expecting a typical Marvel movie,
And
and
you're
I
like-
went in expecting a Marvel movie, and I walked out receiving a Marvel movie.
You're like,
I don't
okay,
know.
that's
I
exactly
don't-
what happened.
I was like, okay, so it was Marvel.
it was
Yeah.
definitely a
It was
Marvel movie.
I don't know. I didn't really feel like it was like that different.
Yeah.
It felt
Yeah.
kind of different.
Gotcha.
but-
Now we got Droog, who I thought was going to be the bad guy. Not much of a spoiler. Totally not.
Yeah,
Just
He's
a-
a-
no,
he was a
just-
cool
he was
guy.
just a cool guy. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, let's save the day. He was the one who went, let's save the day.
Yeah.
Interesting, really like the actor and everything. And he
He
brought
can
up good
mind
points where he's
control.
like, I can stop violence. I can just
stop it.
end it. And they're like, hey, we can't interfere. And he's like crying. You're like, I don't like
Yeah.
this. I don't like
Well,
this movie bringing up interesting
I
concepts.
feel like
Mm.
because no one in the group could really relate to him because he's really
like,
the only one that
directly-
can stop violence. Like the only one
the
that
rest
can
of them would be
directly-
like, hey,
I'll kill
laser
you.
eyes, I'll
Yeah.
kill you. Yeah, but he's like, just stop. And they're
That's
like,
what
okay.
I thought was really interesting with Droog and Makari's relationship, which we'll talk about her next.
Mm.
She cannot speak, but he can read thoughts. So they're like the only two who would understand each other,
All right.
which I thought was really
That
interesting.
is cool.
Because they're like,
Can
whoa,
you read
what's-
her thoughts? though?
Yes.
Cool.
So it's like a fun like, yo, that would make sense if they are the two people who communicate differently.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Makari. Fucking my favorite Eternal.
Oh,
in this entire
100%.
film.
So cool.
She's so cool.
Fight sequences, specifically at the end, were just
Oh my God.
so like I
You
I
can
can't
do so
stress
much
enough
with
how good it
super
was.
speed.
Yeah.
And we either get dumb shit like we see in Age of Ultron, or we get cool shit like we see in this movie and in Zack Snyder's Justice League, where there's like multiple versions of that same person moving that quickly.
Yeah.
Like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
What this movie did, which we haven't seen yet for super speed, is using sound as like an extra level of fighting.
Right. Yeah.
Because Makari
Like
would run
using
so fast to make a sonic boom, stop moving, and use that as like a punch.
Which also makes sense because she can't hear it. So
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't
wouldn't,
affect-
her. Yeah.
It's really interesting. Also, this movie does a great job of just like casually having ASL in the film the whole time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just every Eternal knows it because that's how they communicate with Makari, and they're just like,
It did feel weird as an audience member only because the other audience members were like weird about it. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like every time a
Yeah.
scene like that came on, everyone almost like held their breath, and I was
they're
like,
like,
why is this
weird."
like taboo? I don't know.
Yeah.
And next on our character list, we got Sprite. Not the McDonald's drink. That one's good. The character from Marvel's Eternals. That one's bad. Her ability is to create illusions. She's practically Loki, but also not Loki.
Yeah.
Way better at it though.
Yeah.
And
Loki's like, I don't have a knife. In this one, she's like, I'm invisible.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Okay, cool. Jesus.
And she is
Here's
the most
30,000 volcanoes.
confusing. Her motives in this movie suck. I'm not
Okay,
getting too,
okay.
We can't
too
get
into
into it.
spoilers.
Okay.
She has the body of a young girl,
Mhm.
and as such, her crush, which is Icarus, doesn't look at her the way he looks at Cersei. So she
Mhm.
gets jealous, and just stupid shit ensues.
Mhm.
Yeah,
and that's not spoilers.
and that's
Okay.
not spoilers.
Next up, we have Thena, Angelina Jolie's
yeah.
character. Kill anything. Just can kill anything.
Literally,
just can
so
kill
powerful.
anything.
Not Athena.
Thena.
Thena.
Which is funny because that's how Athena is.
Funny.
But really good. Like, I hope she's in the next big galactic event because she'd kill almost anything.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool.
Yeah, and she can make weapons out of anything, so that was fun. Cool character. Angelina
Angelina
Jolie.
Jolie. Yeah.
Gogoly. It's a good one.
Nice.
I'm a little slippery with my
Oh,
mouth today.
flippery.
A little flippery. I slam my penis. Okay. Next up, we have Fastos. Another interesting
I
character.
thought it was Festus.
It's Festus.
It's
Festus.
Anyway,
Asbestos.
Hephaestus.
a character.
No,
who
know
you-
what that is.
Oh,
So it's the inventor of the group.
This is the character who, at the beginning, you're like, this guy's useless, and then
like okay.
slowly, you're like, holy fuck, this guy isn't useless. Because like
He's
at the beginning,
really important.
he's like, oh, I'm gonna introduce the steam engine to the humans, and we're like, us being really advanced, we're like, wow, that was like 200
That's
years
not
ago.
that
Like,
impressive,
That's not that
Festus.
impressive.
It's so stupid. But he was trying to do this in like 500 BC.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
I mean, it's a little early.
Yeah. Something interesting they did with this character in particular is because he helped humans advance in technology and everything. They have
Mhm.
one specific moment in history where he's just like, I can't do this anymore. And you're like, holy shit, didn't think we'd go here in this movie.
Yeah, it was
Like,
Yeah.
it's like a
really
really
dark.
like just intense, quiet scene. You're like, ooh,
Mhm.
we're doing this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I say?
Well, no, don't say it because that's a spoiler. So
How is that a spoiler?
because it's like an
Danny, it
interesting.
happened in like 1945.
No,
Yeah,
That's not
come
a
on, Danny.
spoiler,
It's been-
man.
it's-
Okay, you know what? I'll
You
censor
gotta
out
keep
the
it
I'll
in
censor
now.
out the whisper, but we don't want to twist it too much,
I don't think that's much of a spoiler.
But it's not in any of the trailers, dingus. I did not mean to go that far. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so
Oh my
sorry.
god, Danny, you really
I'm
gotta
so
you gotta
sorry.
calm down with these insults. You're really tearing the
Are
group
you
apart.
fucking kidding me, man?
Hey, I'm
Hey.
sorry.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
And
It's
finally,
fine.
Leave.
we have
Leave.
Okay, sorry. Let me
Get out.
Let me get up.
Get out! You're tearing this family apart.
Okay. And finally, we have Gilgamesh.
Like the guy from
The
Greek.
epic.
Yeah,
I'm actually taking a classics 310 class right
that's
now.
awesome. Don't make it everyone
Learned a
else's
lot
problem.
about Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh
Wow,
is
that's
pretty cool.
fucking great. But did either of us ask?
Ask.
Not directly.
Not
No,
directly,
not
but
directly.
indirectly, maybe.
But you wanted my
I
expertise.
wanted to know because I'm like, why does Camden know so much about Gilgamesh?
I know so gosh darn much about Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is like the hero He is the strongest out of all of them. Literally,
like physically strongest.
Like,
and his power is he can punch. But like you
But,
think
like,
that's
it's
lame,
so
but he's
cool.
he's so fucking cool.
he did this one part where he punches the ground and then just started punching rocks as projectiles. And you're like, that's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
There's one part where he punches someone into the ground, like he just goes boom,
And
and
the
the way that their
entire-
body just, I was like,
That person's dead.
Yeah.
Like, that person's not
Yeah.
waking up in the next scene. But all in all, different dynamic powers made for interesting things to watch on the screen. It was a good job. It was like
Yeah.
what Justice League should have been the first time around, instead of having to
having to have a 4-hour
you
movie
can
made
introduce
after
a lot
the
of
fact.
characters in one movie.
yeah,
You
and
can
also
do
have
it,
it in
guys.
2 hours.
The
Yeah.
only thing I wish that they would have done is had more like full group synergy, because it felt like there were more like separated groups, like
Yeah.
Gilgamesh, Thena, then Cersei, Icarus, and
Yeah.
then Makari and Druig, and then like I mean they worked well together, but we really never got to see like
all of them.
Yeah.
all of them besides maybe like Festus and Makari work
Mm.
together, and
Yeah.
but
But I mean, it
I
was
wanted
still-
to see like a full like Eternals squad
that's what
beating
the
down a
sequel's for.
baddie,
That's what
but
the sequel's for, baby.
Eternals out in 5 years.
hell yeah.
Let's plug this into our rating system. This one is the least creative, but it's the most fitting. What do you give this movie out of 10 Eternals?
It's exactly how many there are in this movie.
That's
That is
exactly how
literally
many there are.
10. I'll give it a 7.9.
Okay. Nice. What about you, Cam Man?
8.3.
8.3. Really?
Impressive.
I'm giving this an 8.1. Eternals.
Why are you so fucking shocked with my 8.3?
Dude,
You
okay.
do this every time.
Because
No.
normally you're like
You know
most
what happens?
opinionated.
It's
I hate
either
this guy.
us being the
I hate
low or
this
the
guy.
high, and Danan is always perfectly
He's
in between.
always right.
Okay,
Danan.
fine. Do you want me to switch it up?
Stop
No,
being
no,
a
no.
fucking
No, it's
sheep.
your rating.
Have your own
so-
opinion.
Okay, fine. Do you know what? Okay, I'll give you my opinion.
Okay.
I'm just 8. 8 out of 10 Eternals. I'm sorry.
You're still in the
I'm
fucking
sorry.
middle, man.
I'm sorry. I switched it
Yeah,
up
you
on
need to give it a 6. Come on.
Come on, fine. Drop your goddamn rating.
Give us your
What does it
opinion,
have on
and
Rotten
we're gonna
Tomatoes
force.
at this
Okay.
point?
Oh, actually, let me give you the rating system that the general public gave it, not the audience score, just the Rotten Tomatoes. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10 Eternals.
Holy fuck.
Wait, what?
It is a 48% from reviewers.
Oh, but okay, never pay attention to the
I know,
critics
no.
scores.
I'm saying, but that's just crazy that it's that
Yeah.
low.
Yeah.
Why
Audience
is it?
score is 81 though, which we're like right in
Yeah.
the ballpark.
Okay,
No, not
because
me.
here's the
I
thing.
give it a 4.
When I was going into this movie, I was like, okay, maybe there is a way it's like a 56 or whatever
Mm-hmm.
it is on the tomato meter. I was like, all right, maybe it is really bad.
thermometer.
But after seeing it, there's no way it deserves 48%.
You know why I think people gave it? Sex scene. Marvel's first sex scene.
Oh my god. Wait, are we into spoilers? This is kind of a spoiler.
Okay.
Thor: The Dark World is at 66%.
And that movie isn't even enjoyable to watch.
Not at all, man.
There's like 4 good scenes in an entire
Dude.
movie. I don't know why people hated this one so much.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Well, maybe
Also-
we should read the reviews and then we can report back one day.
Okay, we'll get back to you.
We'll
on this
read
one.
the reviews.
Get
We'll
back.
delete
We're
them.
never
from the
gonna do
website.
that. But maybe by Spider-Man we'll give you a taste on that. But let's talk about some spoilers. Jackson, you seem very eager to talk about the sex scene for some reason.
Oh yeah. They have sex.
All right.
Yeah.
Specifically Cersei and Icarus.
Whoa!
Whoa.
And you're
That's a bit
like-
gross. Way to put that
On-
image in my mind, dude.
On the
What heck?
sand, and then you're like, oh, that's probably uncomfortable.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
we need to talk about that for sure.
Yeah, could they not could Festus not have just invented a bed?
Yeah. Where are all the beds at?
Yeah.
A mattress?
Festus
Earth.
trying to make bombs and shit. Just make a bed.
Yeah, come on.
So I don't really care that it was in the movie. Why are people so
I don't know
worked
why
up
people-
about it?
I was kidding. I
No,
don't think
yeah.
it's that
Oh,
important.
No. I'm just saying, like, it is a big deal among like the
Among
internet,
us.
among us.
Among Us.
Ding, 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 ding.
Hey, do you hate us as much as I hate us? Because I
Maybe a
hate us a
small
lot.
amount.
Among us.
Among Us.
Nice.
Ah, nice.
but
yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was fine. It kind of showed like the spark of their relationship.
Mhm.
You know, it was like here's the night they met and fell in love. Like not like met, but the night they like
Hello,
they
I'm Icarus.
met.
I'm an
You know
Eternal.
what I
I'm
mean?
an Eternal. Nice to meet you.
they did do that though.
Yeah, I know. It was interesting.
But I don't know. I didn't think it was necessary, but I see why they wanted to include it. you
Yeah.
know?
And something else that we do need to talk about because it is a additional part of this that some people were like, ooh, about, but it's really
Why are we doing that at this point?
why? Festus is a gay character in this movie,
Mhm.
and it is a perfectly healthy relationship. They really support the child. He's like, I'm
Mhm.
going to save the world so that way my kid can be alive. They kiss and they leave. Why are people upset about that?
I don't know, man.
Why
they're
are
not
they
releasing
upset?
this movie in like Saudi Arabia and stuff just because like Disney refused to change it, which also on
Good
Disney.
job for
Yeah,
Disney
thank
for
God.
finally
Good
not
work.
standing
Finally.
up. You know what they did
Finally.
you know what they did for the Star Wars sequels?
Mhm.
They removed the scale of Finn.
Yeah, they like
the
scaled him
character-
down, made
scaled
him
him
like smaller
down.
on the poster, so he wasn't a focal point because he's black.
What?
Yeah.
for other countries, so that
I
way they
had
can publish.
no idea.
Yeah,
That's so
they-
messed
So
up.
I'm glad.
I
They
mean,
took
like,
a step
great.
in the right direction.
Yeah,
But
no,
that doesn't
okay.
undo the shit that you did in the past, Disney.
Right.
You got a long way to
But-
go before you're not.
But I think,
But
I
I'm
think
glad that they
uh,
were just like, okay, then we just won't show
You're
the
like,
movie.
okay, then not. in the movie.
You know what though? I'm gonna be honest. I think it's because they couldn't remove it from the movie, so like they were like, well, what's the point in trying? Like plot wise, they couldn't take that
They
out.
couldn't
Like
really-
it wouldn't really make
no.
sense. So I think that's why they didn't. I don't think it was because
If
they
they
were like,
cut out the
we
scenes,
stand with
yeah.
the LGBTQ. They were like, no, okay, it just doesn't
if they
make
cut
sense
out
in
the scenes,
movie.
it'd be
I don't
like
know, man.
me. I gotta protect my kid. They're like,
And
"He's a
also,
kid."
it's Saudi Arabia. It's not like they're like losing their entire like China audience. You know,
Yeah.
like that's like a way bigger
yeah.
profit pool. You know, but good job.
Let's talk some twists
Great
and
work,
turns.
Disney.
Mhm.
You know,
got a lot of twists.
you know-
Oh wait, really quick before twists and turns, I have a final thought.
Final thought.
I thought it was interesting how only 2 of the Eternals like found love on Earth.
I also thought
If
it was
that makes
interesting
sense.
that only 2 of the Eternals died.
Yeah, we can talk about that now.
Twists and turns.
Twists
baby.
and
Oh my God, twists
turns.
and
right
turns.
at the gate.